I think we understand what we're living with, and so you see this happening, the puff of smoke.
A wildfire sparks in Boulder County right now on Denver 7 News at 5 o'clock. Evacuation orders are lifted as firefighters make progress containing the fire.
Today was a good day. We're really happy to, reinforce the point that we've lost no structures, that we've had no reportable injuries.
Congress is rejecting the Biden administration's request for $20 billion in COVID funding. We're in Washington looking at how and if a deal can get done.
I'm out here. Richard. Oh, wow.
Wow. That is all you can say after a historic night at the Oscars. But people aren't really talking about the hosts or the dresses or the movies. This morning, everyone, of course, talking about that wild moment between Will Smith and Chris Rock.
Yeah, there were so many great and historic moments, but of course that one overshadowed them all. So yes, the Oscars are back in shocking fashion.
Yes.
We're gonna take you through what happened there last night. Thanks for joining us. I'm Brian Sanders.
And I'm Nicole Brady. I think Lisa was the only one of us who stayed up to watch the
live.
show last
Yes.
night. We went to bed and woke up and we're like, what?
All over social media.
It was a moment you're like, did that just happen? And then when they clipped their microphones, I was like, oh yeah, this is going down.
Right.
Interesting. More on that coming up. Beautiful weather-wise this morning. What a weekend. Very summer-like conditions. Yesterday, we were well into the 70s. This morning, wind gusts anywhere between about 5 to, near 15 miles per hour. The winds have obviously been a big concern with that NCAR fire, and we're tracking more high fire danger today. I'll show you some of those red flag warnings coming up, but take a look at your fresh air forecast. For kiddos on spring break, Denver Public Schools this week, you're going to find temps are right around 70 by noon. You've got another beautiful afternoon. Get outside. We will be under a mix of sun and clouds today. Highs are going to be right around 75 to near 80 degrees, though, so some near record highs. 50s and 60s out west, Bailey and Evergreen in the mid to upper 60s. You can see where we have a little bit more cloud cover now streaming in. This is ahead of our next storm that's going to bring rain tomorrow, and then a rain-snow mix Tuesday night. We'll be timing all of that out coming up.
And right now, the driving conditions look good anywhere we want to go across town. It's really nice here, especially across downtown Denver, northbound, southbound I-25, right by Mile High Stadium, and all the buses, the RTD buses, they look like they're running on time for now. I haven't heard any serious significant delays yet with the RTD system. Take a look at the overall map and you see a lot of green out there. We do have a fatal crash still being investigated from the overnight hours right here at Alameda and Sheridan. It's really affecting some of these lanes in here, and we do have some lane restrictions, so some of the folks are just using the neighborhood roads right in here to get around it. Light enough traffic where it's not that big of a delay, at least at this point of the morning. We'll keep you posted on that. The rest of the drive looks just fine, including tour from the airport for the folks that are on spring break here this week. For all the folks that are back to school, you will see the regular traffic in a lot of areas.
Well, firefighters are making progress this morning on the NCAR fire in Boulder. It started Saturday afternoon and burned about 5 miles from where the Marshall fire started in late December.
Certainly scary images here. We have a map that shows the fire's perimeter. You can see outlined on this map. The good news is this morning all evacuation orders are lifted.
A sigh of relief for people in Boulder. Denver 7's Christian Lopez joins us live now. Christian, you covered this fire all weekend.
I did, and when we were here yesterday, we could smell the smoke and we could see a lot of it, but this morning, not so much. But the good news is, like you mentioned, people are waking up in their own homes this morning. The fire is now 35% contained. It did burn around 200 acres over the weekend. Now, all of this while the Marshall fire is still so fresh in everyone's mind. Officials told us this time around, though, good preparation and planning, it played an important role. And Boulder Incident Commander told us that hundreds of firefighters from several different agencies have been coming together to battle this fire and protect all of those nearby homes. And while people were given the green light to go back to their neighborhoods, some people still have a sense of worry.
I'm thrilled, and I am really concerned about, what's happening to our planet and the degree and the frequency of these events is really frightening and gives us pause.
And today, firefighters will continue trying to get full containment on that fire. And we know that all Boulder schools will be open normally today, including CU Boulder. They had some evacuations over the weekend. We're live in Boulder this morning. I'm Christian Lopez, Denver 7.
Yeah, you could feel the fear certainly coming out of Boulder County with the announcement of this fire. You know, here we go again type of thing. Thank you, Christian. In Boulder County also, there will be a town hall at 6:30 tonight in Superior for people impacted by the Marshall Fire. Officials will give an update on the wildfire fund. You can attend in person, although it is limited to 70 people, but you can also participate virtually by registering at the Community Foundation Boulder County page on Eventbrite. Boulder County will also hold a meeting tomorrow night at 6 with more details about the debris removal process.
Coloradans are increasingly worried about the threat posed by wildfires. 430 Colorado voters were interviewed for a poll conducted by Colorado College in the weeks after the Marshall Fire. Nearly 90% said they're concerned about more frequent and severe fires, with officials now characterizing fire season as being year-round. Close to 80% said they believe wildfires in the West are a bigger problem than they were 10 years ago. Well, at 5:06 now, you're taking a live look at the Dolby Theater. Quiet this morning. The Academy Awards wrapped up a few hours ago with some historic wins for sure, but that's not what most people are talking about this morning.
Yeah, you would never know from this scene of what went on there last night. Morgan Norwood is in Hollywood to recap the night with a look at the tributes, the shocking moments, and the epic performances.
For the 94th Academy Awards. The Academy Awards making a triumphant return to Dolby Theater. For the first time in 3 years, the Oscars had hosts. And as promised, the all-female trio, Wanda Sykes, Regina Hall, and Amy Schumer, didn't hold back.
This year, the Academy hired 3 women to host because it's cheaper than hiring one man.
Beyonce kicking off the Oscars with the performance of King Richard's Be Alive.
It feels so good to be alive.
And what started as a joke,
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it.
Ended in a moment that shocked the Dolby Theater. Will Smith slapping Chris Rock in the face after he made fun of Jada Pinkett Smith's hair loss.
Wow.
Later in the show, Will Smith returned to the stage to accept Best Actor for King Richard. In an emotional speech, he paid tribute to Richard Williams and issued an apology to the Academy, but he did not mention Chris Rock.
I want to apologize to the Academy. Hope the Academy invites me back. Thank you.
Up until then, the Oscars were uplifting and inspiring.
Troy Kotsur.
Troy Kotsur making history with his win for Best Supporting Actor as the first man who was deaf to win an Oscar. And Ariana DeBose, who became the first openly LGBTQ actor and first Afro-Latina to win Best Supporting Actress.
You see a openly queer woman of color and Afro-Latina who found her strength in life through art.
For Best Actress, Jessica Chastain, in her speech taking aim at Florida's Don't Say Gay bill.
We're faced with discriminatory and bigoted legislation that is sweeping our country.
The Oscars ending on a high note with the award for Best Picture going to Coda.
Okay, Coda.
And Coda making history as the first streaming movie to win Best Picture. That's just one of the many firsts during Hollywood's biggest night. Morgan Norwood, ABC News, Hollywood.
A big night. Colorado had a local connection to the Oscars. Derek Hodge is a Denver-based composer, and he directed the music for this year's show. He has also directed the orchestra for the Super Bowl pregame show, and he's worked with some of the biggest names in music, including Common, Kanye West, and Quincy Jones.
I can't remember any point in my life where I wasn't into music.
And just to watch the progression from like the hip hop shows, and he's always been in love with orchestra and actually like scoring films and documentaries, and to like come to this precipice of like the Oscars where it's like this world platform. It's been really amazing.
Well, Hodge is also working on some music for the upcoming Grammy Awards. He composes most of his music from his home studio right here in Denver.
Turning to sports this morning, NFL owners are down in Florida for meetings this week, although the Broncos don't have an owner yet, and there's been no update on what's been happening about potential ownership groups making a bid. We do know Broncos quarterback Russell Wilson has been busy getting to work in his backyard in San Diego, practicing with teammates last week. Broncos GM George Paton said he's happy to see Wilson building chemistry with his new teammates.
There's a reason he's great, and it's obviously he's talented, but the work he puts in, he's obsessed with winning, as I mentioned, and you see it. You see it when you look at the videos and our players down there, and that's hopefully going to spread and with our team and resonate with our football team, and I know it will.
And we will see more of the Broncos here in about 2 weeks. That's when players come back to the team facility for off-season training activities.
New allegations about dangerous content on TikTok. The claims some of its employees are making, leading to a lawsuit.
Plus, why more Americans could be eligible for a fourth, now COVID-19 booster.